At the tone, 17 hours, 24 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. At the tone, 17 hours, 25 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
Hello, Signal listener. Let's try 10 megahertz. Hope everything is doing well for you in Romania. Thanks to us changing our clocks early, I've been able to listen to Romania recently in English.
At the tone, 17 hours, 26 minutes.
Yeah, it got very deep. I was one of those YouTubers who started young, and then as you grow older, your voice is just down, like way, way deep. 15 megahertz now. In a minute here, we're gonna check 15190 and see if Radio Filipinas is going to be on the air, which I don't think so. They were on the air in English yesterday and in Filipino, but I think it's over now. But I heard them last night, so I'm gonna have to write in not only as reception report, but to see what they're gonna do now. And the same thing with Radio Thailand. Of course, everyone is wondering now what's going to happen to NIST and stations WWV and WWVH, which are essential. Of course, that would also make me wonder who would run the atomic clock in Boulder, which is not too far away from me. I don't know, like 30, it's like a 45-minute drive away Boulder is. Oh, that's cool. I know WWV is hard for some people. A lot of people get WWVH, especially in the Pacific area. on, WWVH, come back. Now we're going to go back down to 2.5 megahertz here. With my phone interfering, of course.
At the tone, 17 hours, 30 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology Time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado, broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz, providing time of day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWV, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
Yeah, 2.5 megahertz is a 24-hour, and during the day I think it's the strongest out of all the frequencies, especially some of the higher ones. They skip over me, but also because Fort Collins is not too far away from here.
At the tone, 17 hours, 31 minutes, coordinated universal time.
I usually get WWV on 15, although I was receiving, one of the days after receiving Radio Romania, I checked, I actually got a recording. It was a geomagnetic storm, so WWVH was super fluttery on 10 megahertz and was overpowering WWV during the night. But then I also heard WWVH on 5 megahertz, which I haven't heard in years, and the last time when I did hear them was like 2 in the morning here on 5, because WWV is just so strong. Ooh. Never heard 2.5 megahertz though. I've heard WWVH on all but 2.5 megahertz. Let's try 20 megahertz here. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I'm gonna have to bring this up. I got the 2025 World Radio TV and it has shortwave listings until 8/24 starts, so I've got a couple more days, which I'm gonna bring it out as a database so I can actually look things up this time. Yeah, the wind picked up all of a sudden. The wind is really picking up, and I don't know why. 25 megahertz now. Yeah, I got a week 25. And of course, as I was talking about earlier, I'm sure you've heard about all the USAGM things. According to Glenn Hauser on his daily logs, the people at Greenville were told to shut off power to the building, which means that there's going to be no climate control, so no AC or no furnace. And if something's not done fast, the North Carolina weather is going to mess up those transmitters. But I don't think anything's going to happen. I think it's over for Greenville. I think Greenville, we'll have to see, maybe they'll dismantle the antennas and everything. I think on Greenville Site A they dismantled the antennas, but left the transmitters just to sit in there and rot. But I think Dixon would be our only other option if the landowner would if the landowner would let them use it, but that's also mothballed. Yeah, I'm very upset about that whole thing, considering I'm not the legal age to vote here. And so I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like, I don't want this. Nobody wanted this. And I even got NPR, recording of NPR and somewhere else. And him calling it radical propaganda. I don't know, even if it's propaganda of the West, that's still something compared to China's East propaganda, which I don't even think it was propaganda in the end. But if people were to tune into VOA's propaganda, if it was propaganda, and CRI's propaganda, then somebody could probably meet in the middle and form their own two opinions. Let's try 11810. I don't think I'm going to get it, but... Or 11815. I got something weak there from Galbini. I know Galbini is where they broadcast the West Coast programs of RRI. I think what's gonna be so upsetting for me is just I would always hear Radio Marti 24 hours a day, and because just Greenville was just so close and so strong here, and now it's not even possible. I even liked when VOA had like at least like one program in English from Greenville, because that would always be heard here. And yeah, it's such a bummer. Oh yeah, because you're close to Galbini. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my World Radio TV handbook. I'll leave you with 5 megahertz of WWV. Although my phone is gonna have some RFI, but okay, I have my World Radio TV handbook with me. I'm gonna put it on the back side because otherwise it's gonna... There we go, we got the World Radio TV handbook here.
Coordinated Universal Time.
Oh, it skips over you? Yeah, I was gonna wonder if it would skip over you. Hello, Smiley. 535. Oh, you got somebody on FTA from Russia. All right. Okay, yeah. So you only receive Saftica and Tignesti. Hopefully, I always say those right. Wow. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the wind, man. We're gonna move my setup 90 degrees here, so that way the wind is facing against my back, although we will be in the sun. but we'll still be away from the RFI in the house. So. Oh, you have HD radio? I thought Romania and Europe had DAB. At least that's what I believe. I think yeah, you think you guys have DAB. Because we have, yeah. Let's go to Romania here on this. Oh, you don't have DAB plus there? Okay. We have HD radio and I have an HD radio. Let's see here. QRS. I went too far. Yeah, there we go. Romania. Although I have to turn up the brightness on my phone because I cannot see now. There we go. So yeah, there's the Romania listings. And there's Radiocom, the TX operator, which has Galbini, which has two 300 kilowatt transmitters. Tignesti has three 300 kilowatts, and Saftica has one 100 kilowatt. And I think Tignesti has the DRM capable ones. I don't think Galbini does. I know Saftica has of those ones. So it's under bandwidth here, and let's tune 16 meters. Yeah, that wind is starting to pick up. I know we're supposed to have some rain later. And it's interesting that the wind is coming from the north. Because usually we always get our storms from the Pacific, so the wind should be coming east. But when it usually does, I can always see the clouds come over the mountains. But of course we don't get the rain because we have two peaks here that are very, yeah. They make the clouds go high. Wow. Okay, well that happened with my stand. Anyway, they make the clouds have to go way high up in the sky, and then they don't settle down to the point where it can rain and things until what do I call that? Until it goes out east. So we always get skipped with the rain and things. Also, with the closure of Botswana, I'm gonna have to see what would be the next regular African transmitter you can hear. I'm assuming it'd be Madagascar, because on a regular basis with good signal. Because here, Ifriqiya FM is kind of a weird one. 17620. Let's take a look here in the WRTH. 17620 is Radio France International from Edison with 250 kilowatt transmitters. That's the thing now. They don't they all installed these 500 kilowatt transmitters and they don't even use them at the power anymore that they do. They always run them at like half power. Oh, very nice. Like ham radio call sign, or just like one of those shortwave listener call signs, like for receiving broadcasts. Hand was in the way there. I also heard the Bow Bells interval signal from the BBC yesterday night at, what is that, 05 UTC from Extension 7285. At least I think, actually 7285 Extension or Wolferton. To which I had the Wolferton at 80 special broadcast back in 2023 on my old phone. But when I got my new phone, I never got to transfer some of my stuff, so I lost some recordings, including like some Radio New Zealand recordings and things like that. And what else did I lose? I lost that Wolferton at 80 broadcast, which I was very bummed about. Okay, all right. YO8008. All right. Can I just say the back of the WRTH looks very 80s, the styling and the... Although it looks modern, but also looks like late 20th century. $17,755. I think that's Radio Exterior de España, which according to the WRTH says that with the Noble Hass transmitters they have the 300 kilowatt transmitters, but they run them at 100 kilowatts. WRMI, Okeechobee, Florida. Okay, all right, yeah. $850 Radio France International. With the closure of the Tenang, Philippines transmitter, I'll have to see if I wonder what the BBC is gonna do now, because they had those two 2-hour broadcasts in English to Indonesia, and if they're gonna keep that on shortwave, I don't know what they're gonna do now. I'm sure they could try like Tashkent and those in the Central Asia there, those transmitters, but I guess the only option they have, because they don't have Kranji anymore, or in just to Asia in general, I guess the only other way they could do it on shortwave is maybe if they were able to get KBS World Radio to let them use Kimji, or I think the other option would be one of the Taiwan transmitters. I know they let other broadcasts use those, or if they convince FEBC to let them use IBA or Bokun, I think is the proper way in the Philippines. So that's the end of the 16-meter band. Let's try the 19-meter band here. Oh, how did that happen? Did not see that happen there. I'm also gonna have to move the Sri Lanka transmitter to inactive on the transmitter map I have, because they haven't been heard since September. I think they had transmission problems, but I think after that AWR said that they were just gonna leave anyway, so I think they just left anyway too, because they're like, we're not gonna fix this, because AWR was their only other contract, and was probably the only reason they were keeping the Sri Lanka transmitter maintained. $15,125. It's 1746 UTC. Is that Cuba? Let's take a look here. Move that over. Pull out the 15,125. Oh, that's 15.5. We don't want that. 50,125. Okay, that's CRR and Swahili from the Mali relay with 150 kilowatt, or no, 100 kilowatts, my bad. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think they have 150 kilowatt transmitters. I think all they have is 100 kilowatt ones. But that's not too bad of a signal there. And what is it? Romania in what, 10 minutes is going to be in English, right? To Europe in DRM, right? Yeah, no Radio Filipinas. I think they're gone. And that's quite a bummer that some of these stations are going to do that. And I think I think the BBC, personally, I think the BBC, KBS World Radio and Vatican Radio, Like KBS World Radio used Greenville in Spanish to South America, and the Vatican Radio used it for Spanish and Portuguese broadcasts to South America, Central and South America. And I don't know what they do now. I don't even think they're going to try anymore. I think they're going to say it's not worth it. There's not too many transmitters to relay something like that, nonetheless, that are 250 kilowatt. The only other way would be Extension Island, I think. That's the only other way right now that would give them high power. Because I'm sure they could do WRMI, but WRMI already has way too many stations. And what's the other one that I'm spacing? They only use 100 kilowatt transmitters. So yeah, I think they're just gonna abandon it. Same with, I predict that Radio Thailand, even if we write in, I wonder if Radio Thailand and Radio Filipinas are gonna be like we're not gonna be able to broadcast anymore. We're just done, which would be quite a shame. Volmet, you said 13158. What Volmet is that? I can't move this though. What Volmet is this? Oh no, this is maritime. That gives me the same thing of the Chesapeake Bay, New Orleans, and Point Reyes, California maritime ones. What was that frequency at? 13158. What? I think that's maritime. I don't know Morse code. I don't know. I don't know it. Radio is quite weak. They've became the no report receive station again. They were no report receive, then they were getting reports, and now they're back to no report receive. 13506 code R. Okay. Oh yeah, I always forget about this code R stuff right here. I was supposed to look at it. I actually found out the other day on what the early precursor to NOAA weather radio was station WGU-20 on 179 kilohertz longwave in Maryland. It was deemed the last radio station because they used like a solid like RCA transmitter that in case of like a nuclear silo or missile or whatever hits the US, that it would still be okay to transmit. Go back at 15.2 or 15.190 was where we were at. R22Y. Are you receiving those on your Texan or are you on a SDR? Let's see your bandwidth. Get the 1 kilohertz bandwidth. Oh, SDR in Colorado, okay. I know there were a couple get SDRs, but I know one of them went away. It was one in Fort Collins. I don't know where it went now. Can you check 26110, see if the KOVR studio to transmitter link is on right now? 26110, 26.110 megahertz. Nothing. Okay. Um, I don't know. I think I've just enjoyed using my telescopic antenna, but personally, I think it's if I'd passed the ham test, because that way it would give an excuse to get it out. Because I know I'm on the second story of a 3-story house, basement, bottom and top, and it'd be hard to have the wire going in the backyard up. And so I think I'd put like when I passed my ham license, I think I'd put the like ham radio in the basement or something, and have it come up like a window well or something, and then put like an mag loop or something. Although I'd have to figure out transmit antennas, because I know the MLA30 is a good receiver antenna, but it's not one for transmitting. And I'm assuming the antennas that can transmit also can receive, is what I'm assuming as well. And the wind is really kicking up behind me. $15,460. Yeah, and that's why it's like, if you transmit on the MLA30, you're gonna break your MLA30. So you're 15,460. It's playing American music, so I have a feeling that this is fake VOA here, as the pages flip. I'm sure you can hear with that wind. I'm just trying to block in. Hopefully it's not going through the microphones. I just saw 11885. I really want to get Voice of Vietnam. They're so hard to catch. Back then they used to be relayed by Sackville until Sackville closed, and then they were relayed by Cypress Creek WHRI, and then they closed down, and I think they just gave up on North America after that. Well, let's see here, 15,460. Okay, so that's 15.5. Goodness, this wind is really... Of course, the time I decide to do a live stream, the wind kicks up. Let's see here. 15,460. I have to look on this side here. One-handed here. 15,460 is... I actually don't know what this should be right now, because it's... and it's 17 hours UTC. This should be... Well, what it should be, maybe, is Voice of America. 1630 to 1730 from Botswana, but Botswana's closed. So, oh, it's out of focus there, my bad. Oh, it's AWR. Where? From where? Yeah, it doesn't show on here. I don't know why. Don't know why I didn't show that. Yeah, what transmitter? Because I know they were back from... Yeah, Nowen. Okay, yeah, Nowen's a good transmitter. Which reminds me, I have to add the old Nowen to my transmitter map, because they used to use stationary current antennas and not rotatables. Yeah, because I know they came back after, when they rescaled back from all transmissions. I'm still wondering, now that Radio Signal is on the air and Radio Lenta from Sekunai, if they'll ever revive that, 100 kilowatt continental transmitter they have there in Lithuania. That'd be cool. Hear Lithuania again, because it has been sitting inactive for not that long, unless maybe it's been taken care of when they had medium wave going. Because and it would be nice too, because I know like one of like the medium wave antennas has been dismantled, and like 2 out of like 6 or something shortwave antennas have been dismantled or something. I don't know. I know like half of the site, like antennas on one side of the land was dismantled, and like the other half was not. But it'd be cool to hear Sekunai again. There's as I made that map, there's a lot of stations that cannot come back, like Hungary. Hungary can't come back because of oh yeah, the transmitter just signed off, so that's probably why. I'm gonna try 11630 real quick here and see if I think maybe I'm hearing the faint DRM of RRI. I don't know. I don't know for sure. And also, I'd recommend, I know CRI's on 11815, but maybe they'll do it with a different broadcast, but try and hear NHK World Japan and use the contact form and try and request for a QSL card, maybe. Ask, again, don't demand, because that's one of the reasons why they're doing it, but they are only going to issue verification cards for broadcasts up to the 20th of March. Because back in February they decided that after the 20th of March, they're no longer issuing QSL cards, and so it's a now or never moment for Japan, because after that they're probably not coming back ever again. Just FYI to everyone out there. There's something weak on 15460 now. Unless AWR changed to ouch. I hate when things drop on my foot. It hurts so bad. 15510. Let's go. Let's take a look. Let's pull back the WRTH here again. Move the radio out here. Let's see here. Take a look. 15510. Yeah, or I just flipped to Slovakia apparently. On some other positive news, Wavescan, starting on the March 30th when A24 starts, Wavescan will be heard on Reach Beyond Australia. 15510. 1730. Oh, IBRA Media from Sweden, but is in from Wooferton. So with 300 kilowatt, with one of the 300 kilowatt transmitters they have there. So move that over there. Shift here a little bit. And signal listener, I don't know if you ever hear country radio on, what is that, 639 kilohertz medium wave. They're going to stop from Libice, the Libice transmitter, on the 31st of March, but they will be continued from one of the other transmitters, I can't remember, on a different frequency. Unless maybe they'll still be on the 639 frequency, just different transmitter, but yeah. No, country radio is a medium wave station. 6070 is actually CFRX or what's that? Channel 292 in Germany. Not good signal for you with the 10 kilowatt transmitter they have. You know, now that I think about it, I think Nauen's the last like high-powered shortwave transmitter site in Germany, because all the others are low-powered. And when Deutsche Welle used Jülich out of Köln there, that was dismantled way long before. And then, of course, Wichita was used by many broadcasters, and then that got dismantled in like 2015. Whoa, language, chill. Yeah, I'd assume Voice of Turkey is strong for you there. They're hard to get here. They're really hard. I'm just glad they're back in English. Because I know I was one of the people that did write in. Although I wrote in via snail mail, and hopefully they got it, but they're back now, and that's what's important. And I'm way past the 19-meter band there, I just realized that. Oh yeah, that's from the Saftica transmitter, right? Or no, from Tignesti. I thought it was Saftica was 5955, the lower 49-meter band frequency. Okay, no problem, Smiley. Yeah, RRI. Probably won't receive RRI there. I know one year when I started listening to them, because they were the first, they're special to me because they're the first station I listened to. When I got into it, I was just listening on SDRs. And one time I was looking at shortwave.info, and I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to Radio Armenia International. And I'm kind of glad I did that, because that was one that was, meant for that international audience to hear. And I was just so glad to hear. It was so good. It was actually a DRM transmission that I listened to on an SDR in Europe. And then eventually I was like, when I went to bed one time, I was like, oh, they're on at this time. Let me see if I can hear them. And it turns out that was the West Coast North America broadcast. That was on 9850 back during I think the B24 schedules. They still come in fluttery. And of course they've changed throughout the years, because they'd either be on 9850 or 7375. And that's how it would usually be during like the summer times. One time I think it was, or no, that was A22. Then I think B22, they tried, what was that? They tried to do 6020 and something, and I didn't have a good receiver at that time, so Radio Marti, it would just pick up Radio Marti, it wouldn't pick up Radio Romania. And it was either that or 7375, and that didn't work. And then, of course, they went to the one frequency to a budget cut that I think is going to happen forever. I don't think they're ever going to go back to having two frequencies on the air at a time. And they did some other frequencies, like this last summer. I think they used 9730, or no, 9740 was what they used. And now they're using 9510. So they're ones that change around quite a bit, obviously. When are they going to do another Voice of the Archives episode? I loved the Voices from the Archives episodes that they were doing. $13,670, that's the Madagascar, not the former Radio Netherlands one, the Mahanga, I think is maybe how it's pronounced. Madagascar World Voice Transmitter. What is that, 13,790? Oh, okay. I was actually looking at preempt.org the other day, and they found the location of where I think it's where the PIP is transmitting as well. Obviously, we've all known where the buzzer has been transmitting, but they found out where the PIP transmits from, and I think it's the same area where other stations transmit from. But they post the coordinates too on there, so that way you can check that out. Shannon Volmet, pretty weak for you? Yeah, I'd assume it'd be pretty. BBC World Service from Madagascar, okay. WWCR. Which I got recordings of PR yesterday, kind of quickly. I didn't get the whole thing. They were talking about the USAGM, and I tuned into WBBM on an SDR because it wasn't coming in for me during the time for the top of the hour CBS News Bulletin, and they talked about how VOA had been silenced. I feel sorry for all those journalists, man. 1,300 employees. Which I also went back in 2014 at like a BBC program about them talking about the future of shortwave and things, how things have scaled back. They interviewed somebody from Radio Romania International about it and things, and they're saying they're trying and things, and the guy was saying, I think they have at least 3 more years, and then they interviewed Glenn Hauser and things like that on the BBC World Service, but I was like, well, they survived much more than three more years. So that would have been 2017 if they were exact on that, which is the same year Radio Australia went off. Which I don't even know if they're gonna come back at all. Some of the transmitters have been taken out, but the antennas are still there. And all their other high-powered ones have been gone. The only way they'd come back via Australia would be the Kunurura HCJB transmitter, if possible. But I don't think they're coming back, which is mad unfortunate. And I just realized I tuned way out of the way out of the 22 meter band. My goodness, well, I'm actually gonna go down this time. Gonna go down the 25 meter band this time. Though don't expect to hear much, and we have some noise too, so. WWN, the ETWN Catholic Radio Network, which I know they said on Wavescan a while back that they were gone because they had to fix their transmitters, but they found people to fix them, and they're fixed, so they are back on the air. Speaking of which, I caught Voice of Mongolia on 12015 the other day. Heard that interval signal very faintly, and I got a recording, although it's way off sounding because the carrier is way off from 12015. It's like 1204, it's like 12014.40 now or something like that. And I wrote in on their mailbox show one time. It asked if it breaks, would they replace it? And I don't think they knew where it was because they were talking about their TV mast that's next to their studios in Ulaanbaatar. And he was saying that his equipment's been going on for 100 years. And I was like, that transmitter is from the 60s. That Soviet transmitter is from the 60s. And then they have the one 250 kilowatt transmitter. But I think they have a 50 kilowatt one. But that 200 kilowatt one is mad distorting things, kind of like Tajik Radio 1 on 4765. They kind of sound like that. And so I think that's just how the Soviet transmitters work when they get old. But that's what my assumption was, is that VOM's gonna be one of those stations that when they go off, when their transmitter breaks, they're gonna be done. Oh, really? I have not eaten lunch yet, Smiley. I usually eat lunch later. It's 12:13 local. It's 18:13 UTC. And that's what, 11935. That's probably Yemen Radio, isn't that? Which has that buzzer back. I know everybody was saying it's a jammer. I don't think it's a jammer. I really think it's part of the programming thing. I really think it's just their transmitter. Especially now, it proves that as it's like now in the background kind of there, and it seems to fade with Yemen radio, that I don't think it's a jammer. I think it's transmitter problems. Radio Marti. Gone, gone, gone. Which was funny because Reagan supported Marti back then. Now he's probably rolling in his grave in anger. VOV? Vietnam? Let's take a look, unless CRI or something like that. I don't know. I know CRI also broadcasts where All India Radio is on 9620. I don't think they care. I think CNR just broadcasts, or CRI broadcasts. Well, I think CRI and CNR, they just broadcast wherever they want. And one of the bummers is I think started the A24 schedule, B24 schedule, is All India Radio starting to run all their 500 kilowatt transmitters in Bengaluru. I can't pronounce these city names anymore. They run them at 250 kilowatt now. Let's see here, 735. Let's see, 885. Let's take a look here. 885. Let's see here. 11885 is, it's 18 UTC. That should be VOV in Spanish, because I don't see any because the Xinjiang GD should be off the air, so that's a weak carrier of Voice of Vietnam from one of the 100 kilowatt transmitters they have, which is I call it the Mighty Harmonic. I call those transmitters the Mighty Harmonics because harmonic everywhere. You want to pirate it online? I mean, it's the World Radio TV Handbook. It's the, I got the paper copy, which is $50. Next year, I might go for the PDF format, because I think they update that one. It's online version, which isn't too bad, because the online version is only like $20. And I think it gets updated. I'm also still waiting to see when Sputnik's gonna return to shortwave, which is AKA what is now Voice of Russia. Yeah, it's always quiet. It's always quiet during this times here, during mid-afternoon, because none of the stations want to use the high frequencies. Because Asia, which is pretty big, they're not using high frequencies because it's nighttime there. And then Europe, when they're using high frequencies to Africa, like the moment it turns dark in Africa and Europe, they all switch to nighttime. And that's why, like at 21, 22 UTC, 22 meters is so dead. The only time it sounds like the 1980s or something like that, and all the bands are full, is like early mornings, because there's all those stations from Asia. $99 dBu. Oh my gosh, I only get 80 dBu on this 50,000 watt station over here, this ETWN station over here on 1060 AM. Well, what are they using? Like, they're using 400 kilowatts during the day, aren't they? Right. And that's the very empty 22 meter band there. Let's try 15.4. Oh yeah, that's right. I forget they are off at night. That's 14 megahertz. I did not want that. Let's hear any BBC? BBC World Service? Nothing. Very, very empty there. But no BBC World Service there. Well, what is that other frequency of the BBC? I know on shortwave and I think FM it does. I don't know about medium wave. I'm assuming so. It's just like a 3.5 millimeter antenna jack right there. Move that out of the way there. We've been going for an hour now. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's go to the World Radio TV Handbook here. Let's go to the international section here. Let's see here what section. Yeah, right there, which is quite slim there. Let's go to the UK. So one of the last pages. Oh, there's the US. Oh, look, non-existent station. At least today it is, as that book falls down. My goodness. Kind of hard to do this one-handed, considering this book. I just saw Thailand here somewhere, which again, I am very worried about Thailand right now and wondering what's going to happen to them. Come on. There we go. Yeah, Thailand. Those all might be gone now. Which this book does say it wants to, that Voice of Nigeria is planning to reactivate. Hold that page there and see. The UK, let's see here, in English. To 18 to 1830. Okay, so let's see here. 18 to 19 UTC. And it's a weekday. So we got 18 to 19 UTC to West Africa, 15400 from Extension Islands. And also to Central Africa, 15420 Extension Islands. And of course to the Middle East on 1430 from Al Sila. Don't see any other languages we could try. We could try 15420, 1718. Are you sure it's WWV? It could also be BPM China. I see that a lot on that web SDR there. Especially since they do empty carrier until like try at 25. If you hear beep, beep, beep for each second, then 1 kilohertz beeps. That's gonna be BPM China. Let's see here. Any other frequencies on it from 18, 19? Well, they're in Pashto on 6090 Al Sila 9525. Do you want to try those? 6090 Al Sila or 9525 from Al Sila. It should be BBC in Pashto. 1810 to 1830. I could try 9465 from Santa Maria di Galleria or 12095 from Al Sila. But I wasn't getting 12095 and I don't think I'll get 9465. So let's try 15420. And let's take a look here. Yeah. As I drop my phone. There we go. Oh, you do have a BBC carrier? Okay. That's good. What about 9465 from Santa Maria di Galleria? I think you might get that good. Which also, by the way, Santa Maria di Galleria has 500 kilowatt transmitters, and I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't been looking at an old shortwave.info database from like 2011 on the Wayback Machine, that they had been using 500 kilowatts, but all their programs now, Vatican Radio and whatnot, is all 250 kilowatt is what they're using now. Man, and I would try VOA, but they're not doing well there. I don't even know. See, the problem was, like, if you didn't like the BBC programming, you could go to VOA, and if you didn't like the VOA programming, you could go to the BBC. And now it's you've got the BBC, because like if you want like that type of format where it's not meant for an international audience, where it's like here's 10-minute news, and then it's here's about our country and things, you're gonna be not getting anything good there on shortwave, at least. BBC's got to do something, man. Also, Encompass only owns the Wooferton transmitter. That's what it looks like. 6 250 kilowatt transmitters and 4 300 kilowatt transmitters. That's a lot. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Yeah, because Kuwait's off the air and all these other ones. Greenville almost certainly is off the air. 9780 is RRI, really. Let's take a look here. I don't want Europe, Middle East, medium wave frequencies by region, which sucks because that medium wave frequencies by region like list is only for like South America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Asia and the Pacific, and not North America. Let's see here. That's FEBC. Yeah, I gotta go up more. Up more. Up more. How well do you get Radio Rossi? Which I don't even think they're on now because this is outdated, because this was, I think, right when they cut the service of Radio Rossi and Vesti FM, and they cut them even more from Moldova. And I don't think Moldova can be on shortwave right now because when the whole Russia-Ukraine war started, they what happened? They I think a group came in and bombed it or removed the antenna, one of the antennas. But still doesn't make sense why they wouldn't try and do it. Okay, yeah, RRI, let's see here. Oh, you got an interval signal there, okay. Which again, the mistake I remembered, I thought RRI owned the transmitters. They don't. They pay Radiocom to broadcast. Same with Voice of Turkey, because they're like a brooker. They have shortwave transmitters. They're it's the same building that Vesti FM and Radio Rossi use in Grigopol. It's that same building. If you look on Google Earth, I'll show you here in a minute after well, I can't physically show you, but I'll show you like with my hands after I look at the database here for Romania. 18 to 21 9780 in Romanian, okay. And that's from Galbini. Any others? Oh, Ukrainian. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that they're in Ukrainian. 17 to 18 UTC. They're on the air in 18, 19, 11, 630. Okay. So that's the only ones they're on right now is 5955, 9780, and something else. Which I am able to receive Radio Romania Actualitate. I know that's a medium wave service. But sometimes not all during the day. Like right now, where it's still like evening in Romania, the Romanian broadcasts are like that special Radio Romania International Romanian channel. But after the English broadcast at 04 UTC, at 05 UTC, they the 05 UTC Romanian broadcast is actually a relay of Radio Romania Actualitate. So I used to, and I hope they use a higher frequency during the summer that I can hear them. Because I heard it once and I didn't record it, but I heard the top of the hour thing of this is Radio Romania Actualitate, Ora Exacta, and the beeps and things like that. Yeah, but it's only relayed during like I think like the early morning Romanian broadcast. And that's what it shows here too, is like some relays of that. Of course, NHK in Japanese on shortwave is all relay of NHK Radio 1. Yeah, 999 is off because I think they start at 20 UTC now. Because they've cut it back. They cut it back at the beginning of the year and they cut it back even more. But so if you go to the Moldova transmitter, you have your medium wave here. Which there used to be a medium, this is the building. There used to be a medium wave antenna up here and over here. They have this one over here that used to be used for Transworld Radio. That is 4 antennas together. There's one right here. I think another here or something. But I think one of these two is used to broadcast Radio Rossi. Or maybe it's this 4 antenna one now that Transworld Radio's off. Then they have this whole string of antennas right here in a row, beamed at like 80 degrees. And that's what Vesti FM uses towards Crimea. Then over here is another building, and they've got a couple of shortwave antennas like right here and things that are capable of 1 megawatt. And I think that was because they were also jammers. And then they have one way over here that would be a rotatable antenna. So, I plan to be on for 2 hours. We're a minute and 9 seconds in, or 1 hour and 9 minutes in actually, not minute and 9 seconds in. 70 dBu, wow. Yeah, because the Galbini, that's right, the 1179 kilohertz signal. It's quite common to pair a medium wave transmitter with the shortwave station, which I don't know why they don't do it Tignesti. It's Saftica, they have one. It's like a block away though. Okay, let's take a look here. We were trying 15420, right? Yeah, and that didn't work. Let's try 9780. Do you have any carriers of Tajik Radio 14765 or the Kyrgyz radio from Kyrgyzstan? 4010. And I don't think the Afghan Christian Radio TWR is on 5130 right now. And if you don't hear a carrier from on 4010, sometimes they do sign off earlier than they're supposed to, which is 20 UTC. I'm gonna go see if I can hear a carrier here. But it is also like 12:30 in the afternoon here, so it doesn't surprise me if I can't hear some of this stuff. Yeah, I have no carrier there. I'll try 11630. Oh, you hear it on top of AM stations. Wow. Wow, really. Maybe they have harmonics with their transmitter. I don't know. I don't know with the... Tell the frequencies again of what? Actually, speaking of, with the World Radio TV Handbook, we can look at Romania and see if... Oh, try Tajik Radio 1 first. Tajikistan 4765 comes from a 100 kilowatt Soviet transmitter in the, not the Orzu transmitter in south of Tajikistan, the Dushanbe transmitter just outside there. This is Italy. We gotta go way further. Q elemental PQR, and Romania is usually after Russia, or no, Romania is before Russia. My bad. Keep forgetting how much FM they have, man. Okay. So of course we have the Brasov antenna Satellor. Great station, by the way. Very weak. Okay, do you get the Kyrgyzstan 4010? Let's see here. 1314 10053. 400 kilowatts. Jeez. Okay, yeah, they go at 20 UTC. Okay. 20 UTC is when they sign off. And how far away from you from that transmitter were you again? Well, 400 kilowatts. Oh my gosh, everybody's probably overloading on that. And I'm assuming the Galbini is your closest, what's that called? Your closest of radio AC? AC? I don't know. 7 kilometers. wow. At 400 kilowatts, that's that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm surprised that it's not. Yeah, that is crazy. A lot of these are actually not right, because the Radio Romania Actualita ones that are 24 hours, they're at 200 kilowatts at night, because in August Radio Romania had to only use one frequency instead of two, and they had to half their medium wave power at night. Yeah, I'm assuming you get a lot of overload, and that's interesting for the Texan, because that's, yeah, I didn't think there'd be something like that. I'm also thinking about when I used to hear Mongolian Radio 1 on an SDR in Russia on 4835. That was something to hear, and then they're not on anymore. They haven't been heard since 2024. And the Ulaanbaatar 7260 with a 50 kilowatt hasn't been heard in who knows how long. Yeah, let's try Vatican Radio here. Let's see here on 18 UTC. You better be on. I'm also wondering when the Pope dies. I hope I'm there to hear it on Vatican Radio. Which I don't know why I'm wishing for the Pope to die, but that's a little weird. Oh, Portuguese. Oh, but we're past 1830. Darn it, I could have heard them on 15565. That would have been an okay signal there. 1740 to 18. I don't think they're on right now after that. After that 1830 UTC one. Don't know what else there is to hear right now. Mostly as there's not much on the air. Go back here and do Sri Lanka. Yeah, Sri Lanka's been inactive on 11905 for a while. For sure. Also looking at, oh yeah, Voice of Turkey. I always forget about Voice of Turkey. We could look at Voice of Turkey, which is interesting that they have a Georgian program. 1830, 1930 UTC 9865. I probably won't get that. But they do have 500 kilo. They do use 500 kilowatt transmitters, which just shows sometimes, because last in the A24 schedule, Voice of Turkey to North America, East Coast North America, could be heard on 11785 very well with 500 kilowatts, and RRI in Romanian, but this could be heard very good in the East Coast of North America to Europe at 22 UTC, or 22 UTC would be on 11800, and it just shows you that the 300 kilowatts versus the 500 kilowatts made a difference there. Spain, here we go. Which just shows you, yeah, right here. Noble has 4 300 kilowatt transmitters operated at 100 kilowatts. But I know they're going to get 5 new ones, which is going to be cool. Let's see here. The English to North America, 9690, which is, they gotta fix that soon. Hopefully, because 17855 is always strong during the summer when they do it. Let's see here. Spanish doesn't sign on till what time? Spanish. 9690 doesn't sign on till 1900 is what it looks like. Anyways, let's check all their frequencies. 9690, 11785, 12030, 17715, and 17755. Let's see if I can actually remember that all. Antenna Satilor with the Romanian folk music. I have to say it, Romanian folk music, it just hits different. It really hits different. Nothing there. Let's try 12030 first. That's to the Middle East. I just typed in 1203 again. I don't know what I'm doing there. Oh man, the D808 sometimes is very finicky. Nope, and 755. Seems to be the only one on the air, I guess, right now. I don't know. Oh yeah, 540 kilohertz is always interesting. Have you heard their sign on at 0320 UTC? That music. I want to make a comparison because I found a recording from 1982 on Shortwave of Radio Budapest signing on with that same song, and I'm gonna be like, I want to make it, and I want to title it "Same Song, Different Station," of like the sign on now in 2025 versus Radio Budapest Shortwave signing on Budapest, or Budapest. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Sign on Shortwave back in the day, 1982. Get some of that stuff off there. I'm also trying to wonder. I guess I kind of expected VOA to go off the air, but I'm trying to wonder like what would be next. Which I guess is my worry. I don't know what would be next. Yeah, they have a sign on. They play this song at 0320. You'll hear them start the carrier. Maybe it's a little bit past that. You'll hear them start the carrier. They'll do a couple of 1 kilohertz test tones, and then I think it's at 0325 they start with a song, and that takes them up to 0330. And if you look at one of the videos on my channel, I have it on QESR in the Czech Republic. But the 2 megawatts, man, is just it's crazy. I remember for the BBC cuts, I used to come out here at like 18 UTC or something and hear Extension on 21630. Okay, are we good now? I don't know what happened there, but something happened, and it wouldn't reconnect. So, woo! Ah. That happened. Try. What kind of stations are on in the 19 meter band right now? I usually don't get WRMI very well. Oh, there was just a pip message right now. I think I caught a goose message once, and I got the very end of it, and I had a recording. I don't know where it is. I think it's gone now. But I think the goose is inactive now, isn't it? And my finger's in the way. Oh my gosh. I guess not gonna lie, I think Radio Romania might be next, and that's hard to say, because of course they had those budget cuts with Shortwave, and then they cut the paper QSLs, and I don't know what other necessity like side things that they could cut to continue funding the Shortwave radio and programming in general. I think the next thing would be Shortwave. Which I know they were saying something about on the mailbox program. The guy was saying something about how like this last election you guys got a president that was more known on social media or something than in politics, and they did an investigation on what was it was set up by Russia, wasn't it? And didn't they get him out? I don't know if they got him out or not. Of course, I know what's going on in Hungary is not great right now. Oh, VOA. Gone from shortwave, but not gone from our hearts and paper and recordings. Right now, record. When is the best time to hear messages? I've never checked when the best time to hear messages is. Okay, sweet. Yeah, if you publish that to your channel, I would watch it. Because, yeah, I've rarely... When it's daytime, okay. I was thinking that, but, yeah. Hey Tasso, how are you doing? And how is Linda doing as well? Oh, they say when there's a message too, yeah. Oh, well, we finally have something. 360. Let's try my WRTH here for database. Because if I exit, try and go look at schedules online, it would not show up on the screen. 15360. Alright, we gotta go further. That's 13, 17. We're way too far away. 5360. Okay. Is this actually IRIB World Service from Iran? Because if so, that's probably my first Iran catch. Because I've always wanted to catch Iran and I haven't caught them, but I know their modulation is always low. That stuff out of there. And it's the last transmitter site they're using. Hey, no problems, Tassa. I'm very, very upset about the VOA situation. Of course, many memories there as well with VOA and the relays. And I'm just wondering what's going to happen. I'm also thinking that Radio Filipinas and Radio Thailand are not going to come back too because they use those relays. But I just especially have memories of before even the budget cuts of 2024 when they would sign off at 4 o'clock here from Botswana 22 UTC. I used to, my school would end like 10 minutes early, and so I'd always like bike home hearing the last 10 minutes, and then I'd hear the Yankee Doodle sign off, and it's quite sad for sure. Yeah, I'm very worried about WWV too. I was thinking something like NPR because he has the FCC. He has the FCC under his fingertips right now. That I was thinking that if he's gonna go for other what he calls left media stations, that'd be that. To which, if that were to happen, I don't know, because that's the only way I can hear the BBC World Service on the radio at nighttime is a local NPR station relays it. That's good to know that it's Iran. Sweet. First Iran catch. But yeah, I think at WWV, I really hope that wouldn't happen, because that would be so many millions of radio-controlled clocks that would go, and of course I'd lose my closest shortwave station of being not too far away from it. And who would run the atomic clock in Boulder? I guess one way I could do something is I guess I could write to them, ask, because I know they've sent me a QSL before. Maybe I could just say, I'm not asking for a QSL, but maybe you can send me a letter back or something about if anything's happening there at NIST, because being so close to the Fort Collins, it wouldn't take too long to deliver a letter. I really hope it's temporary too. I don't know if this got passed on, but I guess I'll pass it to you. Maybe you can pass it to others, and I gotta talk about it more on my channel. I was looking at the Glenn Hauser's daily logs for yesterday, and they were told at Greenville to shut off power to the building, so no heat, no AC, of course. And he was saying in North Carolina that equipment is going to be done. That equipment would be broken within a month. So that's quite unfortunate. And I'm wondering if many stations like the BBC, KBS World Radio, and Vatican are going to give up shortwave relays to certain areas if they can't transmit. Yeah, and that's what I'm very upset about too, is it's like they went full hard about you get no power for this site. And if they don't dismantle the antennas, they'd still have to, of course, maintain the equipment. I don't even know what Delano in California. I guess that's the only other one that could be okay for use. I don't know if I think it's a farmer who owns the property, if they'd let him use it. Because I think Delano's mothballed. Or not Delano, I'm sorry, Dixon is mothballed. Delano is dismantled. And, of course, Greenville A is dismantled. So, yeah, it's very sad. And, of course, Bethany has been dismantled for years now. Yeah, they should just maintain the equipment real bad. Oh, they're training on UVB 76? Interesting. Still waiting for when that Christian station to Russia is gonna... Dang, they're going back and forth with those messages. But I'm still waiting for that Christian station that's gonna go beam to Russia on medium wave, when they're gonna fix that 600 kilowatt BBC medium wave transmitter for 963 kilohertz from the Pori, Finland site that used to carry YLE Radio Finland. Although the medium wave transmitter was on longer than the shortwave, because it was used for CRI until 2013, which they said the transmitter was in poor condition. So I wonder how the shortwave transmitters would be in poor condition. But with all these stations reviving on medium wave from these shortwave transmitters, like Sakuna in Lithuania, I hope, like, since they're there, maybe they maintain that, and then maybe it becomes a moment of, we'll let this other person use it, or we'll use it on shortwave. And it'd be cool to hear the 500 kilowatt BBCs be reactivated at Pori. It's got WWV. Let's listen to it for a little bit on 2.5 megs. Yeah, I was checking it yesterday too. I think it's what the worldwide in 5 has been since March 15th. I know RFERL has been updating. They updated yesterday. Yeah, they updated an article yesterday, but I think it's because of because Europe wants to try and refund it. Which I guess hopefully would be a chance. I guess hopefully that could be a chance that maybe they resume shortwave broadcasts from Biblis and Lamperthium, because I know those were some of the ones we lost as well. Yeah, it's 40 dBu. It's usually about 50. Oh, too much RF. Yeah, I get some RF on 2.5, and I'm just so close that it's a 24-hour, and I think it's stronger than 5 megahertz. I guess the only reason I say that is because when I'm in wide bandwidth, you can hear a little bit more static than 2.5. Although my phone is interfering with it, that's what that woodpecker sounding noise is.
At the tone, 18 hours, 55 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
Yeah, in the daytime, I usually hear WWVH 15 megahertz. At night, I hear 10 megahertz overpower WWV, which I had a recording the other day when there was a geomagnetic storm. Like, WWVH was fine, and then it was extremely fluttery. I think that same day, a couple weeks ago, I heard them on 5 megahertz weekly. And that's the first time I heard them on 5 megahertz in a while, because last time I heard them was like years ago at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. So I've heard them on all except 2.5.
At the tone, 18 hours, 56 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
Yeah, my phone is secretly the woodpecker, the Russian woodpecker. With the sounds it makes. Oh yeah, RWM from Taldum. Yeah, that's the only. I get RWM quite a lot. 9996 is usually what I get. I've gotten them quite a few times with the ID. Best time is usually evenings here, like 5, 6 o'clock here. And yeah, that comes from Taldum, 10 kilowatt transmitters in Taldum. Same with the RBU signal on 66.66 kilohertz long wave.
At the tone, 18 hours, 57 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
I think the long wave transmitter they use, because they have two. They had one that used Radio Utnost 153. That was a 300 kilowatter. And then there was Radio Rasi 261. That was a 2.5 megawatt. And so I think they used that one, and then 10 kilowatt shortwave ones. Which I guess that would probably be the only way Sputnik, former Voice of Russia, would be able to come back. Is probably from Taldum. Oh my god, your thing is very overloading. If you're 7 kilometers away from a 400 kilowatt medium wave transmitter, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's try 15, see if we can get WWVH ID. Maybe no WWVH. I think it's, since it's midday, that it's oh, we'll see. We'll wait for a minute 59, and then I'll stay quiet. Oh, it's under there. So I kind of got it weekly there. Let's do 2.5 megahertz. Get a clear ID.
At the tone, 19 hours, 0 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology Time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado, broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz, providing time of day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWV, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
Which, of course, is a correct USPS address. Let's get at the tone.
At the tone, 19 hours, 1 minute.
Coordinated Universal Time. Oh, I was a little late there. There we go. I guess my biggest worry is, I was thinking WWV before this whole thing with the USAGM. I was thinking it was gonna, its time was coming soon because after Mars stopped broadcasting on minute 10 and minute 50 of WWV, WWVH, the only other thing left is the solar reports on minute 8 and minute 45. Well, minute 18 WWV, minute 45 WWVH. Let's hear the 440 hertz one for minute 2.
At the tone, 19 hours, 2 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. At the tone, 19 hours, 3 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
And there we go. I even think the ham side thing is gone too. I think. Oh, I'm thinking of that station. What was that station in Alaska? Oh, Harp. I remember they went off the air. But didn't they come back at all and then they fully went off the air, or no? But I know it was a bummer that Harp went off the air. I actually thought it was at the Fort Collins, Wyoming, or northern Colorado, Wyoming border, but I was wrong. I didn't think Harp was in Alaska, but that's a bummer. Okay, so what is on at 19 UTC? Does anybody have any suggestions at all of stations that are that you're receiving or are potentially receivable here?
Coordinated Universal Time.
Beginning November 15, 2021, it will be broadcasting a test signal on minute.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking 3330 would be received right now. It was CHU Weekly from Canada. 3 kilowatts. 82 dBu noise floor. Yikes. I get a 30 dB noise floor. You're certainly not going to pick up anything with an 82 dBu noise floor. Is that with your external antenna or no? There's a CHU there. Yeah. My phone is buzzing at me. But yeah, so there's CHU. SSB is 82, 53 dBu. Yikes. That's definitely not going to receive anything there at that one. I always feel like Europe, you guys have a lot more noise. Like I tune SDRs there, and there's just so much more noise. I don't know if it's... Yeah, I don't know. There's WWV and WWVH together. Let's do 22 meter band, and then we can all be upset when we pass 13A20 and we can't hear Radio Marti. Certainly I will. Madagascar World Voice 13670, which is funny because the day the USAGM was dissolved was the same day that I was talking with one of my family relatives about how they were bummed because the national park cuts because they like to go on hikes and things, and I was like, I'm just waiting for the USAGM like thing is gonna happen because I didn't know if that'd go under his radar or anything like that, and because I didn't think like he'd see it on his radar or anything like that, but no, and it happened, and it was the same day I was saying, I was just like, because I was like, I swear if he sees the USAGM, he's gonna say bye-bye. But it happened, and I'm very upset it did. I guess those people in Thailand and the Philippines and Kuwait are gonna have to figure out other jobs. Trailer on the road over there. I don't know if there's any report on is VOA supposed to be on from Wooferton or Vatican State right now at all? Are they on still playing the music or no? And I'm also wondering how long is it going to take until the websites are taken down and the streams and everything like that. But it's quite sad. Europe should pick up the whole thing in general. They should pick up not just Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. They should pick up all of it. WWCR 13845. Do 19 meter band again since it's a new hour. Or actually, let's do 22 meter band actually first. Priority first. As the sound as the DRM fades and things like that. I think DRM is interesting. It's not the future of shortwave though, personally, in my opinion. We'll have to see if we can pick up Yemen Radio 11935. I still laugh that, yeah, it's DAB, but for shortwave, but even HD radio on AM, which uses, like, I think a total of 10 kilohertz of bandwidth anyway, still gets, like, 40 kilobits a second versus 10 kilobits a second. I have to laugh that shortwave.info puts the Caribbean beacon as it's still active, even though if you look on satellite imagery, the antennas are dismantled. Which, by the way, on the British DX Club, like Africa and Asia on shortwave things, it was reported back in November that they heard a test, DRM, and it was coming from Russia, from the one of the Far East, I'm probably not going to pronounce it right, the Kulumusk on Amur transmitter, which I know until like 2020 or 2022, Radio Perga was using that in DRM, and then that closed down. And but it's still there. It's still, which just shows that at least the transmitter is being used now, because maybe that could mean in the future that it's still there, or maybe they're getting rid of a bunch of the others, but they're just keeping like a transmitter in the Far East and a transmitter in Moscow, in case if something happens, you know. I know the transmitter in Yakutsk is mothballed, and the transmitter site that used to be used like way far east there in Yeltsevo is being dismantled, which did broadcast programs to Western North America and things. The Krasnodar transmitter is dismantled and things, so the hammer's coming down. I know Armenia is the only active transmitter left in the Caucasus. And of course the Azerbaijan transmitter was dismantled in 2023 or something like that. Yeah, we got weak Yemen radio right there. Very weak, but it's there. WEWN. Oh, and then I'm sure you're going to get excited, because then, of course, all the overloading is going to be gone for you. Does it overload on shortwave or no? Maybe you can catch the last 30 minutes of Kuzith Radio from Hungary, because they'll sign off 30 minutes later. So, well, everyone, I think I'm going to sign off now. It's been an hour and 51 minutes, so long time, and I'm going to leave you guys with WWV for until an hour and 53 minutes. So thank you for joining, and keep tuning. Cross our fingers for WWV and VH, and maybe a USAGM revival.
At the tone, 19 hours, 14 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. At the tone, 19 hours, 15 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.